grandly awarded by him. Therefore, the earth or any other planet or universe is the absolute property of the Lord. Isha Vasham Idam Sarvam. The living beings are certainly his parts and parcels or sons, and thus every one of them has a right to live at the mercy of the Lord to execute his prescribed work. No one, therefore, can encroach upon the right of another individual, man or animal, without being so sanctioned by the Lord. The king or the administrator is the representative of the Lord to look after the management of the Lord's will. This is the duty. If you study the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the first verse, so Prabhupada speaks about it. That all the executive heads, that means all the administrators, it is the prime duty. The king or the administrator is the representative of the Lord to look after the management of the Lord's will. He must therefore be a recognized person like Maharaj Yudhishthir or Parikshit. Such kings have full responsibility and knowledge from authorities about the administration of the world. What is the Sanskrit term for the king as a representative of the Supreme Lord? What is he called? Yes, Boli Darshan.
Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada tells Naradeva, he is
Yes.
Lord in the...
Yes, he is Naradeva. He is, although he is in the human form, but he is representing the Supreme Lord. And we see the example. When Srila Sanatan Goswami, he was not continuing his services as the Prime Minister. So Nawab Hussain Shah came to his house. And immediately Sanatan Goswami offered him respects and addressed him as Naradeva, one who is a representative of the Supreme Lord. Such kings have full responsibility and knowledge from authorities about the administration of the world, but at times, due to the influence of the ignorance mode of material nature, Tamoguna, the lowest of the material board, kings and administrators come into power without knowledge and responsibility. And such foolish administrators live like animals for the sake of their own personal interest. The result is that the whole atmosphere becomes surcharged with anarchy and vicious elements, nepotism, bribery, cheating, aggression, and therefore famine, epidemic, war, and similar other disturbing features become prominent in society. And the devotees of the Lord or the faithful are persecuted by all means. All these symptoms indicate the time of an incarnation of the Lord to re-establish the principles of religion and to vanquish the maladministrators. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, very famous verse. The Lord then appears in his transcendental form without any tinge of material qualities. He descends just to keep the state of his creation in a normal condition. The normal condition is that the Lord has provided each and every planet with all the needs of native living beings. They can happily live and execute their predestined occupations to attain salvation at the end. Following the rules and regulations mentioned in the revealed scriptures, the material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nityapadas or everlasting conditioned soul, just as the playing cradles are provided for naughty boys. Sri Prabhupada's analogy. The material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nityapada, the conditioned soul, just the playing cradles of a naughty boys. Otherwise, there is no need for a material world. But when the conditioned souls become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resources unlawfully, without the sanction of the Lord, and also only for sense gratification, there is necessity of the Lord's incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful. When he descends, he exhibits superhuman acts just as to prove his supreme right. The materialists like Raman, Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa are sufficiently punished. He acts in a manner which no one can imitate. For example, the Lord, when he appeared as Ram, bridged the Indian Ocean. When he appeared as Krishna, from his very childhood, he showed superhuman activities by killing Putna, Aghasur, Saktashur, Kalia. And when his material uncle, Kamsa, when he was at Dwarka, he married 16,108 queens, and all of them were blessed with a sufficient number of children. You know, each of the queen, they had at least 10 children. So 16,108 into 10. Even Narayan was, it is said, Prabhupada said in one of the purports, two Leelas of Krishna, especially Krishna's Ras Leela and Krishna's Dwarka. In Ras Leela, Krishna is sporting with the gopis, and in Dwarka, Krishna marrying 16,108 wives. Even Lord Narayan is bewildered by these pastimes of Krishna. What to speak of others? And all of okay. The sum total of his personal family members amounted to about 10 million, popularly known as the Yadu Vamsha. And again, during his lifetime, he managed to vanquish them all. He is famous as the Govardhan Dhari Hari because he lifted at the age of 7 only the hill known as Govardhan. The Lord killed many undesirable kings in his time, and as a Kshatriya, he fought chivalrously. He is famous as Asam Urdhava, unparalleled. No one is equal to or greater than him. Aho alam slagyatamam yadokulam aho alyam punyatmanam madhurvanam yadesha pumsam rishabhi shriyapati swajanmana swajanmana chakramainena cha anachati. Oh, how supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura, where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, has taken his birth and wandered in his childhood. Swajanmana and Slagyatamam. Slagya, new word. First time I'm hearing Slagyatamam, supremely glorified. Yadu Kulam. Punyatamam. In the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Goddess Shri Krishna has expressively given a description of his transcendental appearance, disappearance, and activities. The Lord appears in a particular family or place by his inconceivable potency. He does not take his birth as a conditioned soul does, putting one body and accepting another body. His birth is like the appearance and disappearance of the sun. The sun arises on the eastern horizon, but that does not mean that the eastern horizon is the parent of the sun. The sun is existent in every part of the universe, but he becomes visible at a scheduled time, and so also becomes invisible at another scheduled time. Similarly, the Lord appears in this universe like the sun, and again leaves our sight at another time. He exists at all times and at every place. But by his causeless mercy, when he appears before us, we take it for granted that he has taken his birth. Anyone who can understand this truth in terms of the statements of the revealed scripture certainly becomes liberated. Just after putting the present body, liberation is obtainable after many births, and after great endeavor with patience and perseverance, and with knowledge and renunciation. See, liberation is obtainable after many births and after great endeavor, with patience, perseverance, knowledge, and renunciation. But simply by knowing in truth about the Lord's transcendental birth and activities, one can get liberation at once. This is the verdict of Bhagavad Gita 4.9. But those who are in the darkness of ignorance conclude that the Lord's birth and activities in the material world are similar to those of the ordinary living beings. Such imperfect conclusions cannot give anyone liberation. His birth, therefore, in the family of King Yadu, as the son of King Vasudeva, and his transfer into the family of Nanda Maharaj in the land of Mathura, are all transcendental arrangements made by the internal potency of the Lord. The fortunes of the Yadu dynasty and that of the inhabitants of the land of Mathura cannot be materially estimated. If simply by knowing the transcendental nature of birth and activities of the Lord one can get liberation easily, we can just imagine what is in store for those who actually enjoyed the company of the Lord in person, as a family member or as a neighbor. All those who were very fortunate, who were fortunate enough to associate with the Lord, the husband of the goddess of fortune, certainly operate something more than what is known as liberation. Therefore, Radley, the dynasty and the land are both ever glorious by the grace of the Lord. Aho bata swa yashashas tiraskari kushasthali punya yasho aksari bhuva pashyanti nityam yad anugrahena sitam smitavlokam swapatim sma yat praja. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarika has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets. Aho bato swar yashasya tiraskari. That which diminishes or defeats the fame of the heavenly planets. Swayasha. What is that? That is Kushasthali. Kushasthali is Dwarka. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living being Krishna in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. Pashyanti Nityam is always visible there. Pashyanti Nityam Yat Anugrahena Stam. By his Anugrahena, by his benediction. And how is he looking at them? Smita Avalokan. Smita means smiling. Glance with the favor of sweet smiling. Swapatim, unto the soul of the living being Krishna. Smayat Praja, to all the inhabitants of Dwarka. The heavenly planets are inhabited by demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, and Vayu. And the pious souls reach there after performance of many virtuous acts on earth. Modern scientists agree that the timing arrangement in higher planetary system is different from that of the earth. Thus, it is understood from the revealed scriptures that the duration of life there is 10,000 years by our calculations. 6 months on earth is equal to 1 day on the heavenly planet. Facilities of enjoyment are also similarly enhanced, and the beauty of the inhabitant is legendary. Common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets because they have heard that comforts of life are far greater there, the earth. So, common Prabhupada ji likh rahe hain, common men on the earth are very much fond of reaching the heavenly planets. Why? Because they have heard that comforts of life are far greater than there than on the earth. So everyone wants to be Swargiya. Whoever passes away in the family, their family members, they want to address them as Swargiya. How can they be Swargiya? Huh? To go to Swarglok, there is some qualification required. But the aspiration is there to go to Swarglok because there is the greater comfort of life is there. The greater opportunities of sense gratification is there. They are now trying to reach the moon by spacecraft. Considering all this, the heavenly planets are more celebrated than the earth. But the celebrity of earth has defeated that of the heavenly planet because of Dwarka, where Lord Shri Krishna reigned as king. 3 places, namely Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka, are more important than the famous planets within the universe. These places are perpetually sanctified because whenever the Lord descends to earth, he displays his transcendental activities, particularly in these 3 places. They are perpetually the holy land of the Lord, and the inhabitants still take advantage of the holy places, even though the Lord is now out of their sight. The Lord is the soul of all living beings, and he desires always to have all the living beings in their Swarupa, in their constitutional position, to participate in transcendental life in his association. His attractive feature and sweet smiles go deep into the heart of everyone. And once it is so done, the living being is admitted into the kingdom of God. from which no one returns. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The heavenly planets may be very famous for offering better facilities and material environment. But as we learn from the Bhagavad Gita 9:20-21, one has to come back to the Earth planet as soon as the acquired virtue is finished. Shine Punne Martalokam Vishan. Dwarka is certainly more important than the heavenly planet because whoever has been favored within the smiling glance of the Lord shall never come back to the rotten earth, which is certified by the Lord himself in a place of misery. This is a place of misery. Not only this earth, but also other planets of the universe are places of misery because in none of the planets within the universe there are eternal life, eternal bliss, and eternal. Any person engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is recommended to live in one of the above mentioned three places, namely Dwarka, Mathura, or Vrindavan, because devotional service in these three places is magnified. Those who go there to follow the principles in terms of instructions imparted in the revealed scriptures surely achieve the same result as obtained during the presence of Lord Shri Krishna. His abode and he himself are identical, and a pure devotee under the guidance of another experienced devotee can obtain all their results even at present. Well, stop here. It is reaching 9:30. Any question or any discussion? See what profound realization this very simple looking ladies of Hastinapur have. Although they did not personally get, did they get any personal opportunities to associate with Krishna? No, never. But see what profound realization they are speaking. Who will answer? How is it possible? Prabhupada has answered it. How it became possible? बोलिए.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji,
there-
by hearing from authoritative sources.
Yes, very good. One answer is that they were hearing from the authoritative sources. Another in relation to what Prabhupada is speaking about these three places. Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarka. Just get the principle. What is the principle in this entire explanation that Srila Prabhupada is giving? Why these three places are of such importance or significance? Why? Because the Lord appeared there or he performed his pastimes. Similarly, the Lord was present in Hastinapur. So Hastinapur is also having the same potency. And when you are in the place where the Lord has performed his pastimes or his presence is there, that place is surcharged with spiritual potency. And whenever there is spiritual potency, there is obviously ignorance is dispelled and knowledge is manifest. In their hearts, this realization was manifest. That is why Prabhupada is saying that one should go to these places and decide and follow the instructions of a bona fide person. Okay. So my request to all of you is that very few of us are there in this study group. Just how many are there? My screen is saying 8. Out of the 8, Dayashil is having one more connection. I don't know how. In this Dayashil Sachichuta Das, how 2 connections are running from laptop and mobile both?
Recording, Prabhuji, recording.
Recording. Okay. So we are just 5, 6 of us who are studying. All others are busy. They don't have that taste to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because if they hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then there is all possibility that material life will be finished. But what to do? The aspiration is not for spiritual life. The aspiration is to come back here and again attempt Puna Puna Charvita Charvana. Maybe in the next life they'll be able to choose something new. So let them come back to continue this effort. But at least you now do not try to chew the chewed, but try to lick the nectar which is there. Okay, Manoram, you send me a synopsis of the first chapter. Okay, I'm giving assignment to everyone. First chapter. What were the 6 questions and how it was answered? You can do it. I am giving you 1 week's time. You don't have to do it today. 1 week's time. Okay. Pradeep, you do for the second chapter. You note it. Manoram, you note whom I am assigning what. Please note it and you send it. Pradeep, you do for the second chapter. Make it very, proper. Synopsis. Don't want elaboration. Just the major aspects. Okay. Third one is relatively long. Dayashil Prabhu, you do the third. The third chapter.
Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Fourth chapter is appearance of Narad. Priyanka, आप करिए. Narad. And Ravindra Prabhu, you do for. I've narrated till 5th. कहाँ तक हुआ है मनोरम प्रभु?
5th तो हुआ प्रभु.
4th.
हाँ, 4th तो अपीयरेंस है. उसके बाद 5th दिया ना मैंने प्रियंका को. Instructions of Narad Muni is 5th.
5th is given to Ravindra Prabhuji.
Which one?
5th Prabhuji, Ravindra Prabhuji.
And 4th is to who?
4th is Priyanka Mataji.
Okay, between them 4th and 5th. Then 6th. 6th is the story of Narad Muni. Conversation between Narad and Vyasadeva. रम्या आप दीजिए, आप इसको करिए. 6th chapter. Who is left? Priyanka, Sonika, you are left.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And Madan Sarup Prabhu,
Yes, प्रभु.
आप 7th करिए.
ठीक है.
Drona punished. And Sonika, you do the 8th chapter.
Okay,
It will be
Prabhuji.
a little long because there are the prayers of Kunti Devi.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Who is left? And 9th chapter, you tell Ganesh to do it. Call him up, tell him he has to do it. This is the most recent chapter of Bhishma Dev. ठीक है? तो 9 जनों का 9 हो गया. Or you tell Pranav to do the 9th chapter. Tell Pranav, let him do the poster. I have given the service of doing the poster, then he will stop the poster. And you please follow up with him, Dayashil Prabhu. कल से आज बीत गया, पोस्टर का ड्राफ्ट आया नहीं. अनम्यूट करके बोलो.
बात हुआ था प्रभु जी. He is doing प्रभु जी.
ठीक है. So in this way we will revise. And in some session do it properly. You can present also. Better is you present. पहले अभी लिख लो. Then we will do the presentation also. अगर first canto खत्म होगा, then we will do the presentations. Okay. ऐसा prepare करना है so that you can present also. ठीक है? Any question from your side or any query? हाँ बोलिए. Dayashil Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it is in 25th verse. It is written that Prabhuji, the material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nitya-baddha or everlasting conditioned soul.
Yeah.
Just as naughty boys are provided with playing cradle. Otherwise, there was no need for the material world.
Yes.
When they become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resources of unlawfully without the sanction of the Lord, that also only for the sense gratification, there is necessity of the Lord's incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful.
What they become? So such naughty boys, what they become?
Yes, Prabhuji.
They become Dushkritas, na? Then Krishna has to come. Paditranaaya sadhunam Then
Duskritam Prabhuji, because in
Ashaya
Pali-
Dushkritam is also there, na?
yes, right.
So first the opportunity is given for the Dushkritas to get reform. See, very scientific. But those who are Dushkriti, they will never hear because they are rebellious. So in that case, then Krishna comes to punish them. First, an opportunity is given to reform. But if they don't agree, if they don't accept, then Krishna has to come and give them the right treatment which is required. Okay, thank you very much. Please chant 25 round. How many of you have not chanted so far 25? You will definitely be there one. There was knowing. Manoram, how many you have chanted? You don't give me the report, so I never know whether you are chanting 25 on Ekadashi or not. How far you have chanted so far?
Prabhuji, 26 I could do.
Very good. You have chanted 26. Pradeep?
25.
25. Very good. Ravindra Prabhu?
प्रभु जी मैंने अभी 20 राउंड सीखे हैं मैंने.
हाँ तो कर लीजिए, करिए. ठीक है. रम्या?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji 25.
वेरी गुड. ठीक है. आज मुझे एक भक्त बता रहे थे कि अमरिंदर प्रभु जो बहुत बढ़िया भागवतम और शास्त्र प्रस्तुत करते हैं, वो कई बार 100 राउंड से ज्यादा करते हैं. बोले हस्बैंड वाइफ दोनों. He recently got married 1 or 2 years back. Both of them chant more than 100 rounds. How the taste will come? How he speaks Shastra? How he is able to remember all the verses? We are also hearing. The empowerment will come when we engage. This is what Prabhupada is saying. Just to know that we are spirit soul is not sufficient. We have to engage in the activities of spirit soul. Then the benefit. Okay. Hearing, chanting. I will share when we will come in the third canto. What Brahmaji's prayers are very deep. And he is giving the substance. The most relishable aspect of Krishna consciousness is hearing and chanting. It is not feasting, as others are thinking. It is hearing and chanting. If we can develop this higher taste. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.